So traders, the stock market right now, there's a calming effect on the stock market. And that calm is, I believe, is right now Thanksgiving. But then I also believe the storm is also coming, another storm. Plus also I got a pretty interesting pattern that I want to teach you. I want to share with you that happened on JP Morgan. And I want to just share that with you. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into today's video here. Let's actually start with the stock market, and then I'll get into JP Morgan. What I'm noticing here quite a bit right now, what's happening on the S&P 500 is, look at this here. Let me actually just take all these trend lines off the screen here. Look what's happening on the S&P 500. We're resting, right? We're not doing anything right now. It's a bit of a, what we call the calming effect, the calming effect of the markets. And this is what actually the market, if you've been studying the market now for a bit of time here, you would know that the market likes to go through different phases, right? It goes through run, it goes through pullbacks, it goes through run, it goes through pullbacks, it goes through runs, it might go through a sideways phase and then go for another run again, right? As you can see, trend is your friend until the end. And so we're looking at what's happening here on the S&P 500. Look what's happening here on the S&P 500. We're actually making a move up, but look what's happening here. We're doing what? We're doing nothing. So this is actually a bit of a calming effect. We had a lot of move up, and think about this as energy phases, right? Think about this as like an energy phase, and the market is like an energy field. So whenever we make a good move, we've used a lot of energy. Now we're just building a lot of energy right now, right? I went to the gym and I had a really big workout, and I've just spent a lot of energy. Now it's time for me to bit of R&R, bit of rest and relax for a while, and then once I'm refueled, once I'm re-energized again, I'm ready to go back to the gym, bam, and to have another really good workout session. Make sense, guys? So that's actually what we're seeing through here, and I do expect to see this R&R to end, and possibly and maybe, well, I do see at least December is probably going to be a really good month for us because we're almost about to finish this month here. So I do see December is probably going to be a really good month for the stock market here. And guys, there's actually a lot of different things that goes into a good trader. There's actually sort of, when it comes to you as a trader, there's 4 different main things that I've learned over the last 17 years trading the markets. You have your foundations, right? There's sort of like the 4 quadrant, right? Your foundations to a successful trader. You have your chart reading strategies. You have your trading systems, like what sort of trading systems are you using? And also your management, right? The mindset, or M&M. The mindset / management. Mindset of a successful trader, but also management. How do you manage the trade? So these 4 quadrants is exactly how you actually do really well out of the markets. If you don't have your foundations right, then it doesn't matter what trading systems you're using, you're not going to do well out of the trading. Chart reading, the better you can read the chart, the better trader you'll be. And there's actually 4 quadrants that's important for you to use. And that's the reason why I'm doing a flash sale right now to my trading course. And in that trading course is about, or you'll be able to see all the link in the description below. And in that trading course, I used to sell for like $500. Right now you can get it for like $7 for a bit of a Black Friday sale. And in that sale, I talk about what are the foundations you must know? What are some important chart reading strategies? What are some good trading systems to follow? And what about some mindset and some management tools as well too? These are the 4 quadrants that's important for you to be a really successful trader. So we can see, going back to the S&P 500, even if I go back to the SPY, right? Like looking at the SPY, like look where we are right now. So I do see that if we have a look at the SPY here, I do see that we're just doing a bit of a calming effect right now. We're just going sideways, not really doing much, right? Not really doing much at all. But once we start to make a move up, I believe we could actually start to make our way back up to a minimum of 500. I've always had a minimum of 5,000 on the S&P, which is probably going to be about 500 on the SPY. And then if we continue up, we're probably going to continue up to the top of this channel, right? That's all the market does. Hit the top of the channel, bottom of the channel, and then probably the top of the channel as well too. That's actually this. Forget this projection here at this time. That's only if the market actually really breaks and really runs, which most of you guys think it don't. But at least on a short-term basis, guys, This line here is at the end of this year. So that line that I'm seeing right now, this is the end of this year, and this is where we are right now. If we do continue to break up and slowly make a move back up like we did through here, and we continue up, if I draw a bit of a trend line on a bit of a average line, like a bit of an average length to the upside, right? If we get back into the average length, then we can see that it's probably going to be, again, just depends on, right? Just depends on the average length, but maybe 5,100, 5,200 by the end of this year. If we get back into this ascent, and we continue along this ascent through there. If it's a bit more steeper, then we could actually see that sort of level through there, right? X marks the spot on the SPY, which is just very, very, very interesting. Again, top of the channel, and also X marks the spot. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all sort of plays out with the actual stock market through there. Move over now through to the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq is actually holding. Let me delete that off the screen. The Nasdaq is actually holding this sort of this channel here quite strongly, very, 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 very strongly into the channel through here. Nice support level, hit resistance once, hit resistance twice, bit of a pullback. So now we're actually breaking back up to the upside, or now we're just holding here. Once we break to the upside, we're probably going to run one to the top of the channel. But again, 17,000 has always been a target for me looking at the good old Nasdaq through there. And looking at the Dow Jones, let's have a look at the Dow Jones on a very short-term basis through there. And you can see what's happening through here on the Dow Jones. We're just having a bit of a pullback. But remember, traders, that is this the top of the market? Probably not. Why? Because we've had a very big move up and we're just getting a pullback. This is probably going to be some sort of a higher low in the market. Very high probability that this is going to be a higher low in the market, and we're going to start to see something like this coming out. So this is not the time to be, oh, the top's in, the top's in. Traders, just relax, right? Just calm, just be patient. Because if we do start, traders, especially with my momentum trend line, I use momentum trend lines on pullbacks, right? So the market that's going up and we're going through a pullback. I use this momentum trend line through here because once we actually break above that trend line, then it's pretty much going to be game on for the bulls for the upside. Makes sense? So we're pretty much probably likely to see a very, very big move. This is going to be probably a very nice sharp turning point. Same for the looking at the Russell 2000, right? The Russell 2000 has broken to the upside. If we actually just draw a bit of a trend line here, right? But we broke to the upside. Let me just take that off the screen there. Let me just keep it a bit more simple for you, right? We had a very big move up. We've actually pulled back to the support level. So once we actually break back above, once we start to get back above, I would say that'd be like the conservative range, right? We came down, hit resistance there, and now we've stayed below it ever since. Once the Russell starts to do something like this and break up, and we start to get a close above, then we're probably going to be off to the races from there. So this is probably going to be a very, 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 very nice turning point coming in the markets, looking at that through there. So that's what I'm seeing through there, traders. Let's go have a look at JP Morgan here for a minute, because I did want to share a little bit of something with you. And that something is a pattern that's actually formed on JP Morgan, and I want to share that with you. So the pattern that I'm noticing right now is what's called an island reversal. Sometimes the market will, this is for bullish and bearish. So sometimes the market will go up like this, like that, and then it'll gap up and it'll just pretty much do nothing. And sometimes you might get a couple of bars and then it gaps down and then we move up, right? It creates like a bit of an island and then it reverses. But same for the downside. If the market runs down through here and then we gap down and we have a bit of a pause, but then we gap back up, we're probably likely to be starting a new upward trend in the markets. And you can see what happened here, right? We gap down, a little bit of nothing day. We gap back up, a little bit of an up day. And look what's happening now. We're starting to get what? We're starting to get a very nice rise out of what? We're getting a very nice rise out of this level through here in the markets. And now we're definitely breaking, if we use our momentum trend line, good old momentum line, right from there. Let me just draw that from there to there, right there to there. We can start to see definitely that momentum line probably through there would be the would be, as you can see, right, bit of a gap down, and now we're actually breaking out as well too. So this is actually very, very sort of powerful move. And so the financial sector is really starting to capture a bid with what's happening here right now. And so I do expect to see some really nice continuations coming out of this. We did come down to a bit of a support level as well too, and we do have a lot of resistance up here. So I do expect we're probably going to come up and hit this resistance level on JP Morgan, but we're probably going to go for a break and then probably go for a run as well too, because we've just had a bit of a pullback and now we're just making a move as well. So hope that helped you out today, guys. Remember, traders, make sure you grab that trading course below. Remember, there is 4 phases that goes into a good trader, and one of the big phases is actually your chart reading strategies, right? Stuff that I talk about here about support, resistance, island reversal sort of patterns, these chart reading strategies, but the most important strategies like the trend analysis and so on and so forth, and understanding what phases these markets go in and where we're at. So when I talk about the S&P 500 and we're doing a bit of a nothing phase right now, what does that actually mean in the markets, and so on and so forth. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, traders. Make sure you grab that flash sale in the link in the description below, and I'll see you very soon.